I think we're going to start out with the most basic question, which is for the people who may not understand, what is an innovation agency? What do you do?
In our case, we try and give you the skill set needed to solve your own problems through things like design thinking, agile, common problem solving techniques, but tried and tested. Fortunately, me and my partner have each done over like 600 or 700 projects each. When you get enough repetition, you recognize patterns. And so we only use things that we know work so that you can
Yeah.
solve. What you need is people capable of solving their own problems so that the thing they build, it actually gets implemented because they have ownership, because they care about it. So we try and focus on that culture piece by training in innovation, which is just training people on the process of making better decisions quicker and actually understanding how the creative process works. It's always the same regardless of what you make. It's the reason I've been able to help build, say, apps like the Uber of security, or buildings, or juice flavors, or logistic management platforms for the military.
So you've worked with brands. I was looking at your website, Ford, Cisco, a lot of different branches of the military, IBM. Like, give me an example of military when you're coming in and trying to
Yeah.
work with the culture. How is that something that you address and
So,
tackle?
there's two elements that I think help in our case.
Okay.
One is my partner John, his 12 years in the Navy. He actually ran all his projects like experiments, trying to figure out how do you actually change the culture in this rigid structure that operates under a lot of bureaucracy. There's hierarchy, there's rank. What you have on your sleeve makes an enormous difference to how you treat one another. So how can you be creative in a scenario where if you speak out and say something slightly different than what you're expected to say, you're chastised? So that becomes a complex process that involves not just us coming in, but also the people inside have to give you the top cover, the protection, the confidence that you're allowed to make a few mistakes. And so shifting that culture isn't as easy as like coming in one day. You have to actually build the people up. And fortunately for us, in the case of the US, that is a priority, is that people are becoming their own problem solvers again within the Department of Defense. And our skill set is to help scale that faster, because the countries that we're playing against and the tax dollars we're spending need to be reduced, or the countries we're playing against, we need to be ahead of them. And so thinking better on your feet, making decisions right the first time, or failing fast,